SwitchBladeJay, and I got into casting Rocket League sort of through natural transition. I've always kind of had a love for the game. I actually started out doing Counter-Strike Global Offensive commentary, but as time grew on, I started to get more involved with the Rocket League scene. I actually found out about the esports space that was there, and I decided, well, it's only natural progression for me to move into this game, which I just love it so much.
My name is Corey Dart, otherwise known as DigitalBacon by online peeps. What got me into Rocket League is pretty simple. You used to play near enough SARP, the original game, and then, that transferred over into Rocket League from day one. Was like top 100 in the very early days, and then couldn't hack it. Wasn't good enough. So, from the advice of mate Ryan Doomsy, it was just there like, oh, just become a caster. So, just became a caster, and here I am.
Hi there, my name's Craftman. I'm a caster for the TCS eSports League. I first got into Rocket League casting around a year and a half ago when my friend Gregan, then caster, now manager of Renault Sport Team Vitality, he encouraged me to give it a go because he was trying to encourage a lot more EU people to get into the casting scene, as there wasn't a lot around at the time. Because he liked my voice, he heard me do student radio before, he thought, you're the perfect man for the job. So I started small casting games between mates and that. But as I slowly started to get better, I joined bigger organisations and became casters for their weekly tournaments. I think it's so much fun every time I get behind the mic. And since I'm absolute trash at the game, it still lets me be a part of the growing Rocket League esports scene, especially here in Europe.
Hi, my name is JarofJam and I'm a Rocket League caster from Latvia. I got interested in playing Rocket League back at the end of 2016 when I saw the RLCS LAN Season 3 finals and then the RLXL Winter Classic that was benefiting Shaltis. That very Christmas season I bought Rocket League and haven't regretted that decision ever since.
The Swiss Rocket League scene is something that's akin to another scene we have in Counter-Strike, where we have a lot of Danish players that play within that scene. And while there's not many Danish players that are at the top of Counter-Strike, in the same sort of fashion, they have a lot of depth that the Swiss scene seems to have. And the Swiss scene has produced some players which have reached the heights of the World Championships, and not quite the World Championships, but being pretty high up in Rocket League overall, whilst also having a nice bustling scene down here at the bottom with TCS and SCSL, who are just, doing some really good stuff of their own accord.
Pretty nuts, to be honest. The support that the players are getting, as well as, the tournament itself for, getting in casters like me and Jay from England to come on over. You've got Craftman helping in as well. Same with Jam. It's just absolutely awesome that they know at the grassroots level, you've got to put in the money, you've got to put in the time, you've got to put in all that effort so that you can get the best result, and really bolstering the players as well as, the scene with investment to it. So it's just great for good business there.
The Swiss scene has really impressed me so far from what I've seen. I remember back in the qualifiers for the first season, a lot of the teams that actually missed out on making league play, I felt had the potential to make league play or even win league play if they even got there. It's just a shame that we only had 8 spots to give away in 8 different qualifiers, and not all of them could make it. But I think they would have done extremely well, and it's going to be interesting to see just how these Swiss players develop over time, both in the TCS eSports League and as a wider part of the European Rocket League community, and building the profile of Swiss Rocket League.
So far, I'm really impressed with what the Swiss Rocket League scene has to offer, with many of the squads being a match for other bubble teams in the Rocket League scene. And I feel like the league format can only benefit the players as they have a certain goal they can be working towards, and without that volatility of the weekly and monthly tournaments.
There are a few sort of contenders for Swiss players that have generally impressed me overall. Classic and Kiva stand out from the Lausanne side. That core of 2 players that just seem to be extremely good. Obviously, Classic having a bit more experience, and Kiva just, doing some insane stuff of his own accord. But as well as that, a couple other players that have impressed me in the past, as well as Syntax on the Silent Gaming side. He's doing some pretty good stuff, and Zafair from Zavet is also one of my standout players for this season.
For me, it's got to be Kiva. You got to look at that roster that he is on. alongside Hello and Classic, and he's quite easy to overlook. But no, that lad has stepped up and is on the same level as the other two. Otherwise, it's got to be Sapphire. Been following him for ages, like longer than he thinks, back on the sort of tournament, like community tournament level, and he always impresses me, so I'm happy with that. Otherwise, actually, Sabo Muffins, the sub. I don't know if you could say sub now, since he's pretty much played, I think, the third most on the team. But him coming on in for the Monks, he has been a solid part of that roster. Yes, the Monks haven't been getting the results, but it's what League players. They're the 8th best team. Let's hope they can change that around, you know. And hopefully they can gain some more wins. That was exciting last week.
I think for me, one of the most impressive players this season has got to be Classic on Lausanne. He just communicates so well with his team. It lets his routine rotate nicely, putting them all in key positions to win games and put pressure on their opponents every single time they step out onto the field. And the record reflects that at the moment. 5-1, a team that no one really wants to go up against right now. And Classic has just been a key part of making Lausanne that dominant force in the TCS eSports League right now, and is certainly putting them on a good path to maybe even win the league a little bit later on this year.
There are quite a few to be choosing from. Of course, Classics and Kiever from Lausanne Esports, Zafar and Sack on the side of Servette Geneva. I feel like Mirrorwing is now the carry for Raptor Jesus on Team Swiss Incredible Rebels, not the other way around. And the team that has the most waiting for them in the future, of course, it is the Monks.